Long ago, when the world was bright and full of stories, an evil wizard gained the power to touch the face of God. Narrativa, goddess of stories and weaver of our world, banished him to the void, but not before he stole a piece of her divine essence. With this newfound power, the wizard lay a dread curse upon all the world, the Glyph Purge, which struck from the minds of all mortals the knowledge of how to read and write. Now, all that stand between the Isle of Meotia and an age of endless ignorance are the bards, who tell stories of distant lands, exotic creatures, and brave heroes. This is one such tale.
Hello and welcome to Challenge Rating Zero, the latest and greatest Dungeons & Dragons podcast to hit the internet airwaves. I am Sam, your Dungeon Master, and I am joined, as always, by my longtime friends and adventuring companions.
Hello, I'm Brian, and I play Hektor the Gatekeeper.
Hi, I'm Beth, and I play Rilla Longshadow.
Hey there, I'm Alex, and I play Ruger Firehide.
And last but not least, we have the man who calls himself Michael, but who we call Parker. Michael Parker playing the druid Zurabak. Say hi, Parker.
Hi, Parker.
Fantastic. We are joined once again for a tale of epic fantasy, still reeling from the Battle of Giants' Rest, our epic feud. Let's get right back into the mix. When last we left our heroes, Hektor, Rilla, Zurabak, and the lawman Ruger Firehide were in Hektor's hometown, the fortress of Giants' Rest, in the mountain range known as the Gate, having just defeated the villainous Varix, Hand of the Void, as well as his Void Priests, and tackling the resurrected skeletons of the giants that the city is named after, and destroying a Void Spike forged by their enemies. Our heroes took some time for some rescue, recovery, reconnaissance. Ruger and Rilla went out to go track down any remaining cultists. They found one, questioned them, and gave the captive the choice between a jail cell or death. Their captive chose death, but not after Ruger gained some useful information about their enemies. Hektor, the gatekeeper, keeper of the gates, went out searching for the dead amongst his people, sorting through the rubble to find the bodies of the gatekeeper warriors that had fallen during their valiant struggle against the giant skeletons that rampaged through their town. Amongst those he found were his mother, alive and well, in the ruins of her smithy, guarding a small army of children who she safeguarded single-handedly during the assault. And the gatekeepers themselves finished evacuating Giants' Rest, heading down into the pass, the long, straight road carved into this mountain range, to join the druids there. Now led, after Trapjaw's death, by Talon, the former head of security, who had a few choice words with Rilla and gained some new resolve as the newly elected leader of her people. The last thing we did in the previous episode is that Hektor, the gatekeeper, solemnly closed the massive iron doors shutting off the only way north from the Briar Marsh, shuttering the gates, and left a little message in a magic mouth for anyone coming that way to travel to Everspring using one of the standing stone portals. So we join our heroes now. It is late afternoon, the day after this terrible attack by Varix. And you all are in Giants' Rest. You are standing in the courtyard outside of the Chief's Keep, the city of Giants' Rest, formerly bubbling with activity, with barbarians teeming around every corner, fulfilling the daily duties prescribed them, now completely silent and still in the absence of all life. Hektor, Rilla, Ruger, and Zurabak. You are joined by the Stricken, as well as your various animal companions in this courtyard, who looks around and says, "Well, this is a sorry sight, but I am glad that the gatekeepers are moving out from this place. It is certainly the right choice, though I fear, as things progress, nowhere will be safe from the Lord Deceiver and her psychotic thralls. In any event, we still need what we came here for. The skull of a giant is essential to the formulae of casting the spell that will help us end the glyph purge. I'm not sure where to go next to find one.
Well, I suppose we should check the crypt. I mean, we have story that everything's been destroyed, but we ain't laid eyes on that for proof positive.
Yes, you were told by the prisoner you picked up yesterday that, well, yeah, that the every skull of the giants laid to rest in the crypt have been completely destroyed. But yeah, no one's gone in that crypt to verify.
Do I know any stories of other giants in this land?
The giants were a race that lived and died out thousands of years ago. They were an ancient society, and part of the reason you came to your home to try to gather the bones left here is because this is pretty much the only place you could think of if you'd like to plumb the depths of your memory for some traces of a tale that might point you in a direction. I will absolutely allow you to roll a bardic knowledge check. You will need to get very high. And then you'll have to roll well to get it.
I get that reference.
Thank you, Alex.
Okay. 17 on the dice, 29 total.
Oof.
No idea.
Okay.
No idea. You have stories of giants doing battle with ancient beasts. You have no idea where any of them would be laid to rest. But you do know that giants used to fight titanic creatures like dragons far back in the day.
Y'all know any dragons?
Fuck.
Oh, we get to eat the rest of them now.
We should check the crypt.
Definitely.
Do you all go check the crypt?
Yes.
You mean spring the trap? Sure.
Yes.
Fantastic. It's just that easy. You go to the crypt. You leave the massive courtyard outside of the towering keep that used to house the chief and his family. You make your way across town following a swath of destruction, rubble, crushed buildings, leading in a straight line to the doors of the massive crypt where the remains of the ancient giants were laid to rest so very long ago before the gatekeepers even made their home here. The massive stone doors have been shattered outward. They are now just piles of broken stone outside of an enormous entryway sloping downwards into the heart of the mountain. You make your way inside, and it is dark and incredibly cold in there, even colder than the chill mountain air outside. Somehow it's even more chill in this cavern. As you walk down, the walls on either side of you are supported by massive, intricately carved stone columns covered with runes and what you can assume was the giant's language, all completely unintelligible. And after a few minutes of walking past these beautifully carved columns covered in ancient writing, the tunnel opens up into a massive, massive chamber, 300 feet long with a 100-foot tall ceiling, just this enormous space. And the ceiling is supported by these tall pillars of what at first glance looks to be crystal, like quartz. But as you get closer, you see that all of these pillars are ice, solid ice, going in these beautiful spires from floor to ceiling, dominating the room in rows going back all the way to the far wall. There are 3 pillars abreast, marching in 12 rows, equally spaced out. And in every one of these pillars, save the first 3, is preserved the skeletal remains of a giant. Their bones are swathed in black iron armor covered with more of those runes. They hold clasped in their hands their ancient weapons, enormous morning stars, axes, and swords. And they are all standing inside of these pillars of ice. And in every one of them, a massive hole has been blown into the ice, drilled through right at head level, and every one of these bodies has had their skull fucking pulverized. It is a grim sight as you walk into this massive chamber.
I don't know. This is weird, but I get down on one knee, and I just take a moment to appreciate both the magnitude of what I'm looking at and the depravity of the destruction that came with it.
It is quite a sight. These skeletons are, 10, 15 feet tall. They're suspended in these beautiful ice spires that, dominate this room and give it a strange, unearthly glow. And it is quite a sight. Do you all want to roll some search checks and look around the place?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll go ahead and do that then.
15.
7. Sure is a big cavern, huh?
It's so big, Rilla. It's fucking huge. It's crazy.
Can I just roll a quick spot check? I'm not going to actively search.
Sure.
And I got a 13 on my search check for the
Nice.
record.
Let's see. Rolled a 10. Got a 30.
Zurabak, you spot the 3 pillars, these 3 ice pillars closest to you, have been completely shattered outward. There's giant chunks of ice and stone piled up beneath them, and it looks like these pillars held the 3 skeletons that rampaged out of the chamber. Hektor, while you're searching around and poking through this large room, which you've never been in before, you are dwarfed by the immensity of the creatures that crafted your home in time immemorial. And their headless skeletons just loom over you as you pick through. But towards the middle of the room, hunched near one of the skeletons, you see a body. A human body wrapped in furs and leather armor, sort of propped up against the side of one of these pillars. As you approach it, you see a very recognizable face. It is a gatekeeper with no sleeves and massive biceps.
Oh, shit.
You see the body of Kent slumped against one of these pillars, and he has a dagger made of black metal stuck into his chest. And that is what you find.
Yes. I'm sorry, I'm processing.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm looking at a cool rock nowhere near this.
I kneel down and can I tell how long? I mean, does it seem like he died like today?
It seemed, from the way the blood is pooled and how cold his body is, it seems like he died the day of the attack. So, like, just yesterday.
Okay. Yeah. Hector just quietly closes his eyes and gathers up his body. Did anyone else find anything?
There doesn't seem to be much else. There's a shit ton of bone shards lying around. The remnants of these skulls that have tumbled out of these partially shattered pillars. There's bits of bone everywhere. But that's it.
I approach Hector with a solemn look on my face.
Yeah, Hector comes around all these pillars holding a corpse in his arms.
I take a moment, and then I look Hector in the eye and I say, I take it you know him.
Yeah. He was an asshole. But he didn't deserve this.
No, I reckon he didn't.
Anthony Geist pokes his head around a pillar in this room and says, "You know, there's a way to see whether he deserved it or not."
Come again?
I narrow my eyes.
Thanks to the faith of our beloved paladin here, I have regained even more of my old power. The doors of death are no obstacle for the Lord of the End. I could reach past them for a brief moment, and we could speak to the few wisps of life that remain clinging to this fresh corpse. We could ask him why he's here, what he was doing, who killed him, if you'd like.
It's morbid. But I think we should.
Yeah. We probably should.
Lay him down.
Yeah, I lay him down.
You lay him down on the ground, and the stricken Anthony Geist, with his now pitch black hair, his sunken-in cheeks, the bags beneath his eyes, walks up and places a hand on Kent's forehead. His eyes gleam with a black radiance that darkens the area around him, and his slicked back hair stirs as a wind from nowhere boils through him. And the stricken says, "I am the stricken, the darkness beyond the stars, he who stands at death's door. I command you, spirit, answer our questions." And a ripple of dark energy flows down his arm, into his hand, and into Kent's forehead. And the body is still, and then the eyes snap open, and a shudder runs down the corpse's body. And Kent looks at you all dully as he tries to work his mouth around the blood, the caked blood.
I light a cigarette.
The stricken looks at you all and says, "I have brought him back for just a moment. He should be able to answer a few questions for us before the final wisps of his essence are lost to us forever. Ask, and he will answer."
What were you doing in the crypts?
The corpse of Kent shudders again. Its glassy eyes roll over lazily to you, Hector, and it tries to work its mouth to form words. It says, "I was on guard duty. It was my shift.
What did you see here before you died?
The servants of the void came. They shattered the skulls, then left. One remained behind. He made the corpses move.
They left too.
Were all of the skulls destroyed?
Every one resting here was broken. That was the deal.
Well, I hope you rest well.
What deal?
Thank you so much. Oh my
I was
God.
waiting for that, but since no one else is asking.
Holy shit. Thank you. God damn. You just say deal and you just glossed right over it.
The skulls would break, the chief would die, and I would lead our people.
Oh, god damn it. Who did you make the deal with?
Whispers in the night, voices in my mind. Power was promised. They came, but they killed me. I chose poorly.
And with that, the stricken says, I think that is all we'll get from him. And
Wait. How many times did you skip leg day?
Fuck leg day, bro.
And with that, the corpse shudders and the stricken's like thrown back a half step. Ugh. Well.
Yeah, that was worth it.
It seems your rival had darkness in his heart that even you couldn't fathom, Hector.
Maybe don't sound so happy about it, Anthony?
Certainly not my intention, Mr. Firehide.
Mm-hmm.
In any event, that is good to know. But, unfortunately, even with this particular mystery solved, knowing that Kent let the Void Priests in here does not aid us in finding a skull. It does, however, present a very troubling stream of thought. They knew what we needed. They knew where to go to get it. And they destroyed it before we got our hands on it. That does not bode well for our efforts in the future.
How would they be able to know the spell components needed?
Of that, I cannot be sure. The formulae for this spell is in my grimoire, which is held in the vault in Grotmire, beneath the city of Everspring.
Well, when was the last time you checked on it?
That's a good question. Ruger?
Hell, I was just there like 2 weeks ago. Don't remember looking at the
Yeah,
grimoire.
Ruger, you know that from the shifts you work in the vault and the patrols you've taken as a scrivener in the Order of the Quill, you know the book is well in hand. It is in a vault inside the vault.
Last I saw it, it was fine.
Well, anyways, we're not going to get a skull here.
No.
There's only one other shot I can think of. We need to be able to talk to a creature that is old enough to have been around when the giants were.
Y'all want to know one of those?
We need to get in touch with Gator.
Hector, are you referring to the dragon? You want to find where Gator took Kesk the Wingless?
Yeah, he's not going to be very happy about that.
I can't imagine he'd be happy to see any of us. But that does sound like a promising lead. I can't imagine any other creature on this island ancient enough to know where a giant might be buried. Oh. How to contact Gator? Zurabak, could you scry her for us?
Zurabak looks around. No, maybe later. Too cold here. Water freezes.
Oh, damn, Parker, that's a good point. Yeah. Druids need a pool to cast scry in, and yeah, water would be frozen here. Yeah,
God.
that's good.
Great.
I
mean, we could just walk there. Swamp's not far.
Not a bad point. It
And
is
we
as
don't
you
have
all-
the Wagon of Wonders to slow us down.
Ah, yes, the Wagon of Wonders. I forgot about that damned thing.
I suppose we can start making our way. Maybe you can scry once we're in a warmer climate.
Yeah, like tomorrow-ish.
So as you guys are having this chat and making these plans, you wander your way back outside of the crypt, and the handful of knights, scrivener, and runners that were sent here by the College of Everspring pull up before you all, and one of them, a knight in shining armor, gets off his horse and salutes you. Firehide. Scrivener Firehide, the evacuation's complete. All of the gatekeepers and the druids are at the north end of the pass. It seems they're prepared to begin their march north. There are too many of them to safely escort through one of the standing stones, and that giant skeleton they're riding in wouldn't fit anyway.
Zurabak Jr.
As you say.
Say his name.
Zurabak Jr.
There you go.
I just shake my head and kind of nod to this guy with just a little bit of look of pity in my eye.
Yep.
And I say, well, I actually look first to my companions, namely Hektor. Well, I'm of a mind to dismiss these knights. I assume you'd like to say farewell to your people then, before we head to the swamp.
Yeah, if I can still catch my dad and my mom, I would like to.
We have a few extra horses. Come, we can depart now. And they bring a couple extra horses for you guys if you'd like to mount up.
I summon Cole so fast, I just instant.
You summon your shadowy spirit mare, Cole, from the ether. He arrives with smoking tail and mane and nuzzles you gently like a good pony.
Nice, thank you.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I love when you summon Cole. He's the coolest. Yeah, do you guys head down to the pass?
Definitely.
Yes.
I walk.
Fantastic. You all make your way, in whatever form you'd like, down to the pass. It takes a few minutes, yeah, you follow the switchbacks down from Giant's Rest up in the top of the mountains all the way down to the long road carved directly through this mountain range. And yeah, head to the northern end of it. And yeah, there's a huge party. There are wagons full of furniture and food, pens for livestock just strapped to these giant rolling wagons. You know what wagons are. Fuck. They're big rolling things with wheels on them, and they roll.
Nice. Are they covered?
That doesn't ring any bells.
What are they for?
You see rank upon rank of gatekeeper barbarians, warriors, crafters, cooks, a bunch of children, all kitted out with weapons, with determined looks on their faces, ready to march out. And you see a huge group of druids as well, folks in animal form, some in not, walking around with long staves. And the druids seem to be mingling pretty well with the barbarians. You see some of them are tending to the wounded, using their magics to heal them. And some of the barbarians seem to be doing some trade with these druids as you make your way through. They seem to be getting along okay. At the head of this massive column of barbarians and druids is your father, Hector, Rufus, chief of the Gatekeeper clan. He is riding on the back of a large Clydesdale with hairy fetlocks, this big like plow horse that's just big enough for him to properly ride. He dismounts as you approach the front of the line, swaggering down off of his saddle, and he says, "Well, my son, these are dark times indeed, but I feel as though with this union of the gatekeepers and the Druid Circle, we may have an edge on this terrible enemy that has revealed itself. There will be a day of reckoning, son, believe you me, and until then, we'll be guiding these Druids north and picking up every strong arm we can along the way to Everspring. We'll be leading quite the force to the front doors of that college of yours.
Don't forget the weak. Bring everyone."
Your father looks taken aback by that statement, and then he looks down at his feet and sighs. I forget myself already. Of course we'll take in everyone. This, my son, this is why you shall be an excellent chief when it is your turn to rule. It is that wisdom and kind heart that will see our people through in the future. Well, we're going to be taking off soon. Will you be accompanying us, or do you have more of that protagonist stuff to do?
We have more of that. I gotta go the other direction, but I will catch up, and I will see you there.
Well, son, go with my love and the love of your people. And Rufus looks over his shoulder at the rest of the party and says, all of you know that from your efforts, the Gatekeeper clan lives to fight another day. You are heroes to us and shall be honored as such by any Gatekeeper you come across. We hold you in the highest regard, and, frankly, we wouldn't be here without you. And he stands up straight and calls down the line, Gatekeepers! Salute! And every single member of the Gatekeeper clan holds a weapon aloft and says, Hurrah! Cheering your efforts as protagonists. And Rufus, the chief of the Gatekeeper clan, embraces you, Hector, in a big old bear hug, swings up into his saddle, and says...
I'm going to roll a grapple check to see if I can hug him harder than he hugs me.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's a competition.
Everything's a competition.
Yeah. I rolled very badly, but I still got 19.
Just rage.
With a 19, you just barely beat out your dad and hug him harder than he hugs you. Once again cementing your place as the true chief of the Gatekeeper clan. And yeah, after a moment, he breaks the embrace and gets up in a saddle. He holds his orc double axe over his head and says, Forward to Everspring! And the entire column of barbarians and druids starts the march forward. Zurabak Jr., this enormous vine-covered skeleton, starts lumbering forward as the druids all pile up into its cavernous mouth to travel in safety. And this strange mixture.
Oh, they grow up so quickly.
They head north, passing by you as you all make your way south.
Hector waves and runs for a little bit to keep up with the someone on a train that's trying to
absolutely
chase the train as they wave.
Yeah.
Except for I'm probably faster than them moving at a marching pace if I'm running, so it gets awkward, and then I stop and then just wave as they walk past.
He has my eyes.
After you all get done watching Hector awkwardly wave at his dad, you all head
at all
south.
Of the gatekeepers, thank you very much.
You all head south to the Briar Marsh. looking for Gator. Is that right?
I think, yeah, that's the plan.
That's the plan.
So they keep telling me.
All right. You all make your way south. You have to go back up to Giant's Rest and down the other side because someone shut the doors to the pass in the last episode. But yeah, you...
Says you. Made of stone, right?
No, they're made of metal.
Says you. They're made of metal, right?
Yes. You all head south. You travel for hours going through the pass, this enormous, just razor straight road carved by ancient hands long ago. The sheer walls towering over you, carved again with these enormous giant runes that are some 20 feet tall. And yeah, after many hours of travel, you finally get to the southern end of this long road going through the mountains. And yeah, you start heading downhill. The chill wind gives way to damp, cloying air. Mosquitoes start to buzz around you, and pools of stagnant water start to form on either side of the road as you all wind down from the mountain range known as the Gate and into the Briar Marsh proper. Zurabak, you are back in your element. There are horrifically spiny thorns on every tree, shrub, and vine all around you, and the cacophony of life, the croak of bullfrogs, the slithering of snakes, the swishing of crocodile tails in the water fill your ears as you're back in your home turf.
Well, I'll be. This is a swamp, eh, Zurabak?
So they keep telling me.
I've never, actually been to a place like this.
It's great. Everything wants to kill you.
At that exact moment, I slap a mosquito on my neck.
Absolutely.
See, they've started already.
What the hell?
Yeah, the mosquito is as big as your fist. It's a problem.
Just wait for the big ones. Oh, he's not gonna scream like last time. Oh, sadness.
The stricken hitches up the collar of his jacket and's like, yes, I didn't enjoy it the last time we were down here, but at least I no longer have to play that tedious role.
I light my battle axe.
So, Zurabak, are we tracking Gator down on foot? You know these swamps better than anyone. Do you know the way back to her lair?
Probably.
Well then, lead the way.
What do you want from me, a survival?
I would like a survival check, Zurabak.
What do you want from me?
Going back to Gator. This is like episode 10 shit. This is
Before my
earlier than
time.
that even.
I rolled a natural 20, so that comes out to 40.
Zurabak, the very fabric of reality seems to unfold before you. You're like Neo looking at the code to the Matrix. You are so tapped in to the green, to the natural world around you, that you can feel the heartbeat of the swamp. Every buzzing creature, every soaring bird, every slithering reptile in this entire place seems to stand out in stark relief to you as your feral, animalistic instincts kick back in and you feel a connection to your homeland that you never felt in your entire life. You kind of get a sense of how incredibly your powers have grown over the course of your traveling as you come back here and are one with the swamp. You all try to follow Zurabak, and at times he's just gone because he slipped into a deep pool of brackish water and just come out the other side without breaking stride. And you're like, oh shit, he's over there. And you have to like hurry to catch up with him as he makes a beeline directly towards Gator's place. Because of that incredible survival check, you make it there twice as fast as you normally would. And so by the end of just a day of travel, by the time night has truly fallen, you all find yourselves in a very familiar pocket of the Briar Marsh. There is a wide pond of water standing next to a massive mound of stone and shrubbery that houses the lair of Gator, the ancient druid that lives here. And as you all approach this pond, the shrubs around you start to move. These massive piles of thorn-choked shrubbery shamble around in mounds, like shambling mounds. And you're suddenly flanked by 4 giant piles of roots and vines with lashing tendrils that start to close in on you as you come to the outer edge of this pond.
I killed him.
I ready myself and look at Zurabak because I have no idea.
Zurabak stares at them.
You as you all take a ready stance at these approaching shambling mounds, they take a few steps closer to you, closing the ring, and before they reach out their tendrils to lash at you, you hear a voice coming out of this pond and says, "Oh my word, it's been so long. Have you children come back to see your old friend Gator?" And you see where once the pond was pristine and calm, there is now like a truck-sized head sort of chilling on the surface of it. You see eyes and nose and the scales of a snout just barely bobbing over the water as Gator stares at you all, sort of chilling in the pond.
By the lot of protos.
Yeah, absolutely.
Reaction take.
They say, "I recognize most of you, but I think you've brought a new friend." And before your eyes, Ruger.
Oh, yeah,
Firehide,
Snake ate a lot of people. He's bigger now. I know you probably didn't recognize him.
quite the growth spurt, that's for sure. I'll have to keep an eye on that one. He's almost as big as me. And as Gator says that, they pull their entire body up out of the pond. The shambling mounds.
I just lean into Snake and whisper, "Soon."
The shambling mounds back off as Gator drags their enormous form out of this pond. And you're staring at a... God, what did I even say last time? Like a 20-foot tall fucking alligator? Just this massive, towering fucking alligator. Sharp fangs, ridged scales, slitted eyelids staring at you, and water rushing off and dripping in huge rivulets all over the floor of the swamp as they heave themselves up on 4 bowed legs and slink towards you. And from this massive mouth comes this grandmotherly voice. "Well, I don't believe we've been acquainted, sir." And these massive eyes bear down on you, Ruger Firehide. "I'm Gator. I make my home here in the Briar Marsh. I've been serving it for, quite a long time. I've met your friends here before. Who are you?"
Well, name's Firehide. Ruger Firehide. I guess technically Scrivener Ruger Firehide. I'm a protagonist, and just.
Gator blinks and then looks at all of you and sees the protagonist badges, except on Zurabak, and says, "Oh my, you children really have come
and
up."
the stricken.
That's true.
Yeah, it's true. "Oh my, you all really have come up in the world. Well, quite impressive. I knew when you poor things were scurrying around in my lair that you had great things in store for you. Whatever brings you back to my corner of the swamp?
I've come to eat the rest of the dragon.
That's not...
Nope, that's not actually accurate at all.
Well, hold on. Gator,
Yes, dear?
you're not old enough to remember giants, are you? Are you old enough to remember giants?
Oh, dear. I'm not quite that old. And even if I was, I've never left the swamp. I haven't set foot outside of here in all my years. I don't know anything about giants, I'm afraid. But that pesky dragon Kesk, he's as old as the mountains themselves. A dragon that powerful? He's been around for quite a long time. He might know something about giants if you're brave enough to face him. He was quite upset when I took him away last time. I'm not sure that he'll be happy to see you.
His wings did taste good.
Okay.
They were fucking delicious. Oh, sorry.
This whole time, I thought y'all were just pulling my leg with that story. Y'all really ate this dragon's wings, like real shit.
Yeah, when Zurabak says he eats something, he eats it.
Like, I should know that by now, but this just seemed... all
And
right.
it's one of those things, like, when else in your life are you going to have a chance at eating dragon meat? You know?
I look at Rilla, and I said, even you, Rilla? Even you ate this dragon's wing?
Couldn't resist. They smelled really, really good on the fire. You ever had dragon wing?
Have I ever? Fuck you.
Well, were you trying to find Kesk again?
Yes. Unfortunately.
I don't envy you. He's one of the most powerful creatures on the entire island. Without the use of his wings, his mobility was severely limited, which is, I'm sure, the only reason he hasn't brought his scaly behind all the way back down here for a rematch. But I left him in quite a precarious position. He's all the way up north, up past the Shutterbark Wood. I left him in the frozen wastes at the very tip of the island of Miosha.
Well, can you get him back?
Oh, sweetheart, you poor, poor thing. I wouldn't bring Kesk back into this swamp for all the gold in all the world. I could help get you to him.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, but so how do we make it so that Kesk doesn't just immediately kill all of us the moment we get there?
I mean, what's he got against me?
Like, we need to have a plan.
Told you we should have ate his legs.
I mean, Hector brings up a very valid point. If y'all ate this dragon's wings, I'm sure he won't be happy to see y'all. And I do look delicious, so, you know, he'd probably want to eat me.
I can agree.
You think, our little cabal of conspirators might be interested in helping us?
Who?
Yep.
I'm not sure what they would be able to do here.
Well, then what about you, Lord of the End? You got any bright ideas? Or dark ones?
No. Oh, that one.
Do I have any idea of how to mollify a rampaging dragon with a blood debt? Nothing comes to mind. Though, in Firehide here. We do have a person that Kesk has never met, though he might just kill you because he's a dragon. We also have in our party quite an accomplished shapeshifter that's taken the form of a dragon on more than one occasion. That could be useful.
Yeah, but like small dragons.
Yeah, baby ones with big attitudes.
Quick clarifying question. Kesk's got a poison gas breath weapon? Am I remembering that correctly? Was it poison gas or is it acid?
I think it's acid
spray.
I have to check. Yeah, the breath weapon for a green dragon is acid. And so what you remember about Kesk is he was in Gator's lair trying to take it for himself. They had a big old fight. Kesk is a great worm, the most powerful kind of dragon there is, the oldest and mightiest. He is currently without wings, but just a being of immense power. Far off the charts of anything you fought so far.
Not true, because we fought him. Sort of.
You survived while he fought something else, that's true.
We knocked a rock on his head.
You did, famously.
Look it up.
So, we contributed.
Well, those are certainly ideas. Some to mull over, at least.
Zurabak, you're not immune to being melted by acid, are you?
I'm immortal.
I mean, that's a fair assessment.
Beautiful.
Wait, Art? Is that what eating Void did? Are you immortal?
I was immortal way before that, otherwise that probably would have killed me.
I mean, yeah.
The stricken sighs deeply.
I sighed back.
So, who wants to approach a dragon?
We're eating it afterwards, right?
No,
He doesn't need his tail.
I mean...
he doesn't. That's
okay,
fair.
Guys. Easy. We got a world to save.
Gator says, well, shall I take you to where I left him, or...
I mean, who's gonna be the one to approach him? Let's figure that out now.
I mean, I'll do it, as I am immune to fear.
Okay. You, approach a dragon.
Probably die.
Maybe you should bring a gift, like a set of wings.
Honestly, Brugger's probably the best one to send because he didn't fight. He's an unknown.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
that makes sense.
I'm also, as previously stated, a tasty morsel.
Yep.
But not a tasty morsel that's eaten his wings, which works out for us.
It gives me,
You know?
It's not gonna get him
the
back.
slightest of advantages at most. But Zurabak does raise a good point. I mean, if we're going to an ancient being of the before times to ask him a favor after y'all ate his wings, maybe we should bring, like, a piecemeal, you know?
What do we bring a dragon? Any ideas, guys?
Food.
Well, dragons, as far as I know, like to collect shiny old things, right? I seem to know a multicolored city nestled in some mountains that keep a lot of old...
Oh, yes, please give him the whole garbage city.
I could give you I could give you his tooth that I took.
Well...
What's that, bad?
That's risky. But I like where your head's at, Rilla. Glad to see you back in the game. I'm just saying, there's a whole museum.
The Stricken perks up at that. Says, Rilla, wait. You have a piece of Kesk?
Yeah.
You don't
remember that? I took one of his teeth because I don't know. I thought maybe I'd make a necklace out of it or something. I'm not sure. I just took it.
Okay, writing that down to talk about later.
In my defense, Rilla, that was many, many episodes ago. But if we have a piece of this creature, it should be much, much easier to scry his location. We might be able to get a peek.
We're doing it the safe way. I wanted to see Ruger get ate.
Thanks, Zurabak.
You would have loved it. You'd screamed. It probably stabbed him a couple. And then we get to eat him.
We'll have to go visit him at some point, but we might be able to get a look at what we're walking into. Just an idea. I'm all for stepping blindly into the breach and sending Ruger to parley with an ancient evil whose power dwarfs even my own.
Easy, guy. I just put my faith in you, and you're already sacrificing me to a dragon? Like, come on.
I believe in you that much, Ruger.
I fucking spit the dirt.
So yeah, what do y'all want to do? You're sending Ruger there. Did you want to try to go get a present? Do you want to scry? What's the game plan?
I mean, I don't want to go in there empty-handed. Just because I don't know the guy doesn't mean he's not going to want to eat me. He tried to eat you guys the first time he met you, as far as I understand it.
He also doesn't know the Stricken. We could send the Stricken.
Exactly.
He absolutely knows the Stricken. The Stricken was in the cave with y'all.
No, Sebastian was in the cave.
Same face, same body, same dude.
He could probably change that. He's got new powers now.
Do not ask me to clearly define the DMPC's abilities, Alex.
I wouldn't.
For fucks, don't put that evil on me.
Dream of it. All right, well then, I'm circling back to I would like to bring him a gift. And I think there's a whole college full of smart people who could come up with a good idea.
Yeah, feed him one of those.
You're killing me tonight, sir. Jeez. No, yeah, I don't know. Either pulling something from like the Hall of Whispers that he might enjoy, or asking our conspirator friends if they have any resources. I feel like, are we going to report to the conspiracy our movements here, or are we choosing to not do that? Because they just sent us help, and I appreciated it.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
I wasn't talking to you, Zurabak.
Fine. Guess I'll leave.
Ruger. Ruger, you're aware that because you're wearing this protagonist badge, the diviner's watching just all the time. That's like the point. They called you when shit went bad, right? Yeah. They're it's all being recorded. Yeah.
Gross. All right.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely an idea to see if they have something. I don't know what else you'd bring a dragon.
I pulled my little thing up and I'm like, Diviner, can you read me?
No one can read.
What kind? Fuck off! You piece of shit! You absolute monster! Oh my god! Fuck you to death! God damn it!
Wow, that was beautiful.
Piece of
yeah. No,
piece
I
of
screwed
shit.
it up. No, that's a good point. That's a good point. Can you hear me?
Firehide, I hear you loud and clear. This is the Diviner. What can I do for you?
Well, we've run ourselves into a little bit of a predicament. We need to go petition an ancient dragon for some knowledge, and the dragon happens to hold a grudge, as it turns out. So we kind of need some bright ideas about what we might take him as a peace offering.
This would be the ancient green dragon that gave your friends the munchies, correct?
Yeah, that's my understanding. Can't quite believe it, but turns out.
Well, ever since you all started down this road, I've been doing some research here about green dragons in particular. As far as a gift to mend fences, they are avaricious creatures like old dragons were. Perhaps a valuable enough piece of treasure, though it'd have to be quite valuable to attract the dragon's attention.
Mm-hmm. Y'all heard that. Any thoughts?
No, I didn't.
Fuck.
I mean, I'm willing to sacrifice for the cause, but I'm not sure if boots of Winterlands are going to be fancy enough for a dragon.
You just give it something shiny, kill it, take it back after we get the information. Done.
Okay, well that is one bad idea.
The diviner says over your comms, I could talk to Moonbeam and see if there's something in the Hall of Whispers old enough and valuable enough
Never.
No?
I mean, we can.
I mean, Hector, in defense, we would be trading knowledge for knowledge. It's fair trade.
Yeah, it's worth it. It just really grinds my gears, you know?
If I knew what a gear was.
I lean over to Snake. I feel like we're only getting half this conversation.
So, protagonist, what is your plan? Shall I try to find a gift that could entice the attention of a raging dragon so you can send Ruger into parlay? Is that the plan?
Well, when you
Yes.
say it like that. Wait, I'm immune to fear. Never mind.
I see that you're in the Briar Marsh. I shall talk to Moonbeam and have an agent send something to you through one of the standing stone portals we have there in the marsh. If you'll hold your position, I could have something to you in the morning.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
that works. Thank you.
It is my pleasure, and why I am here. Diviner out. Gator looks at you all and says, so, yeah, you've been sort of, talking to yourselves for a while. Am I taking you, or what's the plan, kids? I've got other stuff to do.
Yeah, I don't know. They do that now, I guess. Whatever.
I think we just hang out here for now?
All right.
Yeah?
I slap another mosquito on my neck.
Let me do something to make you all a little more comfortable. And Gator casts some spells. And the trees around the pond that lays outside of her lair start to get up and walk around and then reroute themselves in a circle with all of their branches mingling together in a canopy above you. And you now have a little shack, a nice little shelter to protect you from the elements. And she says, you're free to make camp here. Believe me, nothing in this swamp will hurt you while you are this close to my lair. Whenever you're ready to depart, just let me know.
Well, thank you, and it's been a pleasure meeting you.
Oh, the pleasure's all mine, dear. And she turns and wades her massive body back into the pond outside of her lair and dips below the waters. And yeah, you all have the night to rest. You do that. It's great.
I guess I'll prepare scry now. What level is it?
I want to say 4.
4th.
Yep. So you all get a good nap in. Rilla, do you still have your Jenga blocks?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you all get a good night's rest. Rilla plays some Jenga, waiting for y'all to wake up. As you're once again in the
Nah, I
fetid
don't do that anymore. Rilla just like when you guys rest, I just get as far away from y'all as I can while still being in hearing distance, like in case of something going wrong. Like I might be climbing a tree above this area and just sitting up there.
Gotcha. Yeah. While the rest
I don't
of the
hang
party...
out with anyone anymore. Just FYI.
Okay. You don't hang out with anyone anymore.
I mean, I'll talk to Hektor, or not Hektor. I'll talk to Zurabak, or I'll talk to Ruger when I need to, but I don't stay around any of you anymore.
Yeah. Which you all definitely notice pretty quickly. That Rilla is nowhere near any of you.
Yeah, no more pranks. Those are done.
So yeah, the night passes with Rilla keeping her distance from the rest of the party, giving you all the coldest of shoulders. But in the morning, as the sun creeps over the mangrove roots and the thorn-choked shrubbery of the briar marsh, a runner approaches your camp. Centaur, with a bright blue vest, their lower half covered in pack saddles, comes rushing through the swamp, approaching you. They stop short, doff their cap at you, and say, "Hey there. I'm here to deliver a pretty important package to the protagonists." And he reaches into the folds of one of his pack saddles, and he brings out a ruby that is a foot across, beautifully cut, in this complex series of facets. The second he pulls it out of his pack, this thing twinkles in the very thin sunlight coming through the canopy over your heads, and a dazzling prism effect throws rainbows just all over the goddamn swamp, all around you, as he's like squinting as he holds this thing out. And he says, "This is for your hands only." And he holds this enormous ruby out to you. Moonbeam said it's incredibly valuable and incredibly delicate, so I guess do with it what you will. I'm just glad I don't have to look after it anymore.
Do I know what this ruby is?
You absolutely know what this ruby is. This is a gem of brilliance. It is a very powerful and very old magical item that was found on the corpse of an adventurer 50 years ago in the Badlands. Some intrepid bard brought it back. It used to be able to produce incredibly dazzling and even damaging displays of light. From what Moonbeam said about it, it lost its magical properties, but it is still a fucking dazzling gem.
Before I even take it from the runner's hands, I just start telling the story of the ruby loudly to anyone that will listen.
I listen.
Yeah, this this particular gem of brilliance was used as a beacon to help lead a group of adventurers out of a terribly dark dungeon. It was the sole light on the horizon that led an entire band out of danger before the one holding it fell. But yeah, this thing is handed to you all, and the runner doffs his cap again and turns and leaves. You now have this enormous ruby in your possession. Gator comes wading back out of the pond, looks at you all and says, "Oh my, what a pretty gem. It's certainly eye-catching. She'll get something's attention with that. Was there anything else we needed to do before you all head out?"
I think. So is the plan going to be Ruger, you just get the information Yes.
I mean, effectively, I'm assuming we're going to scry where this dragon is. We're going to have Gator take us approximately near there. And then I am going to approach this dragon with this gem of brilliance and offer it as a gift and ask if I might be able to learn where I might find a giant skull. And if the dragon says no, then I don't know what to do.
Kill it.
Yeah, probably not going to do that. Definitely not by myself.
I believe in you.
My hair grows shock black.
Zurabak, were you going to try to scry this dragon?
I guess.
All right.
Oh, I should probably pull up the spell.
Yeah. You find a nice pond, a nice bit, a pool, I should say. You find a nice small pool just outside of the pond, outside of Gator's lair. Perfect for scrying. And you sit beside it to channel your druidic magics, the power of the wilds flowing through you. As you cast your gaze through the endless expanse of roots and underground beasts, your consciousness flowing outward from you in all directions to try to locate the target of this spell.
I guess he gets a will save.
He does. He gets a significant penalty because you got a piece of him. Rilla, do
10
you
is what it
offer up the
says.
tooth?
Does it like destroy it to use it? Probably.
No.
Okay, then yeah, sure.
And I assume I have met the subject.
Yes, you have.
Am I familiar with the subject?
Absolutely.
You know his taste.
Ah. I am very intimate with him. Yes. So yeah, he'll get looks like a minus 15.
Hell yeah.
Level 4 spell. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 will save. DC.
Excellent. With that minus 15, you just barely get it. He does not get the saving throw with that incredible penalty. Rolled very low. You hold the fang of the dragon in your hand and you conjure the image of Kesk in your head, this towering form with a tall crest leading down his sinuous neck, verdant green scales and shining yellow eyes, all tooth and claw. And as you form this image, the small pool of water you're concentrating on ripples once and then twice, and then this pool of water shimmers, and then you see a colossal green dragon skylined on a jagged spur of ice in a swirling snowstorm.
I lick my lips.
The ocean sprawls out behind him. And it seems to be covered in enormous shifting chunks of ice that smash against each other as the waves roil beneath them. And you see two enormous scars running along this thing's back, starting at its shoulder blades. And this massive, powerful dragon stands on this spur of ice. And you hear a strange sound coming through the sensor, this strange, high-pitched trilling sound. And Kesk's expression turns from defiant to concerned, and they race away from that spur of ice they were on. And they go running off. And does your scrying sensor follow them?
Up to 150 movement speed.
Fantastic. Your scrying sensor follows after as Kesk lopes along, very fast. His massive form and powerful limbs carrying him quickly over a patch of Arctic tundra as this trilling sound gets louder and louder. And it looks like he's running for his fucking life. And behind him, you can see giant furrows in the ice forming and closing in on his position. Just as he dives into a stand of very tall conifers that seem to raise suddenly out of the surrounding, he makes his way into these towering trees and burrows quickly into the ground, covering himself with snow, his huge tail lashing and covering him with soil and snow as the trilling gets louder and louder and then fades away as if whatever was pursuing him has wandered past him. And he stays still for the rest of the time you're scrying him.
Oh, you're gonna have a fun time, Ruger.
Yeah, Gator's looking over your scrying pool and is like, I don't know many things that would make a dragon run. That does not bode well for you, adventurers. Well, anyway, are you ready to go?
Bye, Ruger.
Well, all right then.
Gator turns her massive form to an enormous tree standing out amongst the rest outside of her lair and says, all right, everyone, climb on up.
I do.
Oh, we're all going?
Yes. You're going to watch me die.
I mean, I could do that from here.
Are you front row tickets?
Who climbs up on Gator's back? Tell me right
I
now.
do.
Rilla, are you getting up there as far away from your companions as possible?
Yeah, I'm gonna. Let's see. What's my butterfly speed? I guess I'm gonna turn into that white dragon and I'll just follow her. So that's what I do.
She says, all right, sweetheart, just hold on to my tail. Quite an impressive power, by the way. Looking good. Zurabak, are you going?
I mean, I guess. I don't think Snake's gonna fit, though.
Oh, there's always room for Snake. You all pile up onto Gator's back, and she walks forward into a massive fucking tree. The bark ripples as she steps through, and as the membrane of this tree washes over you all like a viscous fluid, as usual, you are in a world of white. A rushing sound fills your ears as you are teleported far, far, far from the Briar Marsh, from the at the southern tip of the island of Meosha, all the way to the northmost point. And you come out of a massive conifer towering over a frost-covered plain, and the chill hits you immediately. You all were just in the gate, so you're adjusted to the cold, but there are no mountains here to break the wind, and it slices right fucking through you. You're at the edge of a large stand of trees, sort of clustered together here in defiance of the wind. And even as you step out of this massive conifer, you hear a cracking sound, like someone snapping a twig, but times 1,000. And just to your left, as you all come out of this tree, another massive conifer has a giant crack run up it, and then it shatters. a hail of razor-sharp splinters flying out in every direction like a frag grenade as this massive tree just fucking blows up right next to you. Everyone roll me reflex saving throws as you are showered with shrapnel from this exploding tree.
16.
12.
Zurabak, what'd you get?
Hold on, I'm looking up Snake.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting to need his saves.
Well, I gotta try to mix it up on you. We spent a lot of this time with you guys just kind of talking.
That's going to happen.
Says you.
Literally. That was the
Not
problem.
my game.
+7.
Oh, shit.
I have a +6. Is it poison or fey?
It is not.
I got a 22. Snake got a 19.
Excellent. Ruger and Rilla, you're each going to take damage from this massive exploding tree. You're each going to take, 10 points of damage.
Owie.
As giant splinters just rip into your body as this tree just fucking detonates next to you. And Gator says, "Oh my, yes. Well, that's something you all are going to have to keep an eye out for here. We're right on the northern tip of the Shatterbark Wood. A bit north, you see those icebergs. That's where Kesk will most likely be. You'll need to be careful. It's so cold here that the sap in the trees freeze, and they erupt just like that. Make sure you watch your step. And remember, anything that could make a dragon hide, well, it's not something you all should be messing with. But here we are, everyone off." And after you all climb down, Gator turns tail and says, "Well, I wish you the best of luck on your little adventure, and I hope everything goes well. Bye." And she steps back into the tree.
Wait, how are we supposed to get back?
Oh, right. Fine, I'll wait here for you. I suppose that's fine. Just hurry up, will you? As you stare out onto a frozen patch of tundra leading off to giant shards of moving ice roiling in the ocean waves. That is where we will end. Hello and welcome to As the Dice Turns, the podcast after the podcast, where we take a deep dive into our player characters' motivations, characterizations, frustrations, and try to get a better understanding of them as people. In this part of our show, we like to ask one of our protagonists a question and see if we can unearth some deeper truths about them. Today, in studio, we have Rilla Longshadow. Rilla, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you, host?
I'm doing a lot better now with our new format, I gotta say. Shenanigans are down 100%, and feeling a lot safer, Just safer. I feel a lot safer. I'll just say that. Well, it's an honor to have you in the studio today. Just wanted to, unpack some stuff. In this last adventure with you and your companions, you met an old enemy. You battled some enormous skeletons. You weren't there for the start of the fight. When Varix assailed your allies, you were gone, flown away from the rest of your party. And it seems like you've been keeping some distance from the rest of the party ever since then. I guess I'm curious, why the distance?
Man, you'd sure jump right to the extremely personal and none of your business, huh?
Well, that's kind of the entire premise of this program.
Let's just say, host, that I needed to revise my understanding of the situation I am in. I thought that I had made friends, at least one, and that was clearly not true. So I am going to focus on saving the world for the people that care about me, which I have learned are two for sure. My sister and my aunt, and I will do everything I can to make sure that our mission succeeds. And I've got coworkers now, so that's fine.
Well, that's certainly an interesting turn of events. You are famously reserved in the face of strangers and hard to win over. I think that's fair to say from everything we've seen over the course of our campaign. You now truly believe that you only have two people that care for you?
Based on recent actions, yes, I do.
I can only assume you're talking about Hektor fumbling the fucking bag in front of just everyone you know. Almost.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about that. Any other questions, host?
I do have one more question, and I certainly don't want to overstep, so I appreciate you setting those boundaries. When you were talking to Talon, you said that if she did marry Hektor, it would cause a problem in your group of friends. Why is that?
And with that, we're going to end the show. Thanks so much for joining us today. And Rilla walks off.
Well, you heard it. Keep those dice turning. Sharon, I think it's working. Hey there, dear listener. Sam the DM here, checking in with the credits at the end of the show. Challenge Rating 0 was edited by the incomparable Audius Prime, aka Matt Sims. You can find more of his work at audiusprime.com. Music for Challenge Rating 0, including our amazing theme song, is provided by the harp wolf Danielle Williams. You can find more of her work at danielletaylorharp.bandcamp.com, including her album Why Are We Surprised When Seasons Change. Additional music for Challenge Rating 0 is provided by Justin Ra. You can find more of his work at justinra.com, including his album Age of the Spirit. If you want to find us on social media, we are on Facebook and Instagram at Challenge Rating 0. We're at Twitter at Challenge_0. And if you'd like to email us here at the show and send in any questions for As the Dice Turn segment, you can send any emails to challengeratingzero@gmail.com. Any questions we receive will be read on air. If you'd like to support the show, we are on Patreon, patreon.com/CR_ZERO. We've got some bonus content on there for you folks if you are interested. And if you can't support us fungibly, we ask only that maybe you take some time to give us a review, recommend us to a friend, all that good stuff. Thank you so much for listening. We're still trying to make the best show we can for you folks. And we're going to keep on keeping on. I hope you all take care of yourselves and each other out there. We'll see you next time.